Was that the 400% boss speed vortex of 87? No, it's not, but it is equally as shocking about the fact that Ninja Kiwi can release such an abomination onto the world, and I presume there are going to be people out there that will be able to do it on their first try and think it is ultra easy. Anyways, this map in particular, very fond memories, let's just say, of the Bite of 87, if you know what I mean. It is a very infamous event in the FNAF universe where said unfortunate soul was put into the jaws of this golden Fredbear, and unfortunately suffered massive injuries to the point where unfortunately he died in the hospital, sorry. So yeah, both Balloons and FNAF both have a very scary backstory. The Balloons' scary backstory is that we're always fighting against these helium abominations, and we don't know why. What is the origin point of this said story where monkeys have suddenly gone into or balloons have suddenly gone into a set of mindsets that well, we're always in a never-ending battle against them, and apparently no matter how many we defeat, no matter how many we go through, we are nowhere near close to defeating the balloon horde. It's like probably in the quadrillions or the quintillions of numbers of balloons in which we need to defeat, and no matter how many rounds we go through, they are never ending. I think the maximum integer code is possibly the limit of the balloon population. When I mean the maximum integer code, I mean like it's the 32-bit integer code of like 2 billion or something along those lines. And obviously in the top left there is the webcam of one Markiplier who covered the FNAF games in his YouTube time, and well, I think he is probably the most infamous name when it comes to FNAF playthroughs, honestly. Like, always appearing on the front cover of every single YouTube search, like, just search up his, like, FNAF 1 playthrough, and his first video gets, well, it's gotten at this point over 100 million views. That just shows how expansive this particular franchise has gotten, but in a way, I think FNAF was most special when it just came out, really, because it was an unknown thing. We didn't know it was going to explode into this huge phenomenon that it is nowadays, and honestly believe it was the best when it was like the first game, and then people made their theories around there, because I think what Scott Cawthon did with FNAF was just magical, really. Like with the mysteries of it all and the lack of answers to things, and then people want answers to things, and sometimes that ruins the enigmatic of a story when you're forced to kind of tell an answer to something. I know I'm rambling on and I'm not talking about balloons here, but this is actually a franchise that so many people beloved, honestly. Like all of the different animatronic characters, Barney, Freddy, Foxy's probably my favorite out of the original 4, honestly. I think it's got the puppet as well, which is a big intrigue from the second game, because their whole identity was definitely an enigma in and of itself. We're definitely suffering with the camo detection here, so radar scanner is not going to be amiss. We're going to need that deconstruction for the Moab coming up on round 40, and also from there on the other Moabs that will spawn on the game. But yeah, got the snipers just in case if any balloons escape this bottom left corner down here, it's able to take care of the rest, hopefully. Probably from the first 5 games, the third one was my least favorite, where you're stuck in the office and you've only got one animatronic to defeat, where you've got those phantoms to try and avoid. And the reason why I don't like that particular FNAF game the most is just because of the camera system on it, honestly. You've got 2 different floors in which you need to watch out for, and sometimes it feels like you're trying to look in multiple different places at the same time. But if you stare in a particular location for too long, then a phantom animatronic will activate. And oh my god, the phantom puppet was so annoying, because it literally disables everything and your screen is just froze and you can't do anything for several seconds. Fun times all around. I think the second game was the safest, like, successor to the original FNAF game. Like, just more of it, just in a different location, and a few new mechanics added here and there. Okay, so what's going to be our next venture here? I think a boat of sorts is going to be our next target when it comes to things to buy. So I'm going to go up to a 320. We've got radar scanner, and I see some people probably say that getting hot shot is sacrilegious, especially for 2 mega pop scenarios, because you just want to keep a 310 because you can sharpen the grapes if they're not on hot shot with the sharpening stone. Even though nowadays is not as good because Ninja Kiwi decided to change sharpening stone so that it's not as good, but it has more pierce. I think there are a few towers that benefit from the extra pierce, but most of the time you're going to benefit more from the additional damage. Especially if those do like 2 mega pops with really weak, sharp projectile towers. Okay, deadly position. We're going to get main MURVs so we can actually store the MURVs in place for long enough so that they can actually, well, in the early stages, the first one will always be completely stored over here, but then later on it's like, it's more for just making that bit of difference here and there. So what are we going to go for next? MIB? Now we're going to aircraft carrier and then MIB. We need something for long range support, and we definitely need something that covers the entirety of the track. So, what's going to be next here? I think I do want to get a Spirit of the Forest, but then that means we lack the means of being able to deal with the bad later on if we just focus on that, because we need multiple means of damaging the bad around 100. It doesn't matter if we can actually clear the rest of the rounds. We need to be able to deal with round 100. That is the biggest threat of them all. Get MIB so that our Sentry experts can deal with all the targets on the field, inclusive the ones that it freezes, because that's a thing sometimes with this game. Oh, dearie me. But I do like a game where there's a severe lack of answers given, but there are breadcrumbs dropped here and there as to like what could be the story, and everyone's like theories about stuff could be just as right as the other person's theories because there's no concrete answer to it. So I think that was where the magic of FNAF was lost over time, because answers were given because so many fans were dying for answers of certain mysteries, such as like the bite of 87. And then it turns out within FNAF 4, this was actually the bite of 83 because of the year of that TV advertisement shown in the 4th game. I like the 4th game more than the 3rd one, definitely, where it's mainly based on sound rather than... Well, sometimes vision is definitely important, but in the first 3 games, sound was not the biggest factor when it comes to like being aware of the animatronics' presence, but in the 4th game, just hearing that rustling when you're near the door or anything like that, that was a really good design choice, I think, of using audio as a means of trying to get to the end of the day, really, within that universe there. Trying to ensure that you can survive until you get to the hardest of the hards, such as like 420 mode. Blaze it! You're definitely blazing it with a lot of tries, let's just say that. There. I mean, actually, in some ways, balloons in FNAF have quite a few similarities in their difficulty curve as you go on throughout the game. When you progress through the game, it becomes more difficult. New challenges await, and definitely new elements to discover and increased difficulty, and sometimes even a new aspect to the same character, which I think is very intriguing. And I like the fact, like, this is a very important feature. On the first game, the audio logs in which the phone guy gives you, they're not answers, they're just things that are told within the game. But they're not like given like, this is it or that is that. It's just giving you a summary of what's going on, but it's not giving you a concrete definitive answer as to what that thing is. It's just showcasing one person's experience of what they're going through, and I really liked that. about the first few games of FNAF. Whereas over time, it was like, okay, here's a game, and guess what? Here's a bunch of answers given to you. And when Scott Cawthon is no longer the writer on like some of the later games, you can really tell from the lack of direction because, well, the classic bring back the Springtrap trope is definitely there. And I know I'm not speaking Balloons terms here, but when it comes to that particular game, I kind of fell off it after Scott Cawthon was no longer the primary writer or even the writer itself of those games, because it's like similar to Star Wars essentially. When George Lucas was no longer a writer, I wasn't that interested in anything that in the Star Wars franchise, because from that point onwards, like Star Wars, the name is now just a money. It's a quick way to make money, really. Just use the IP of Star Wars, and then that's it. Just like using the COD IP nowadays is just a quick way to get money. And with a lot of huge AAA, quadruple A studios and stuff like that, the games are more or less built for the executives and the shareholders rather than the customers themselves or the people that are actually playing the game. And in a way, I think when a franchise becomes too big, it loses the original purpose of what makes it so special. Like the older COD games, they were actually quite good, like World of War, Modern Warfare, Black Ops, like the original ones. They were so good because it was about the game, not like filling your pockets with as much money as possible. Like they knew back then how to make a game. But nowadays it feels like AAA studios just kind of sink nowadays when it comes to their ability to create a game that is actually for the player and not for the executives and stuff like that, just to fill their pockets with as much money as possible from as many microtransactions as possible, which I think is one thing that has really detoured games down a very dark path when it comes to their overall creativity, because you can bypass the matter of not having a complete game if the complete version of the game is at the very end of the live service pool of that game in and of itself. So when you're only given, let's say, 10% of the game at launch, it's not really the full game. You're just given a snippet as to what the game could actually have, because the rest of the game is paywalled behind even more money in which you may not have at the time in order to access. You paid for a £50 or a $60 game, but yet you need to spend like $200 or $300 more at the very least in order to access even more of the game, which should have been on the launch game. And that is just something that I feel like has just been lost over time. Just that magic of creating a game for the purpose of having a lovely experience of a game. But nowadays it just feels so devoid of that factor. Okay, where are we going to go to next? I really do want Spirit Force, but I don't think we're going to be able to get that because we don't have enough bad damage. So possibly... I think with our money pool at the moment, we don't have enough for a MAD, which honestly wouldn't be a bad shout, but I would like it in the range of our MID. Can't put anything on the top of this. Yeah, I wish I had this more further south, or this further to the left, really. Now I don't know anymore. Well, the one thing I could try and get is a Bez. Hopefully we have enough money to get the BEZ, but I don't think that's going to be the case here, because this will definitely do enough damage against the bad. And we should have it on locked, actually, so that it's always pre-firing this way. So what's your guys' and gals' opinions on the FNAF franchise if you've ever played it? Maybe you're just playing this for, because it's Balloons Town Event 6. Maybe you're only watching it because it's Balloons Town Event 6. But I do think that sometimes you can branch out and reach out to like multiple audiences with the same thing, because this is Chimps, and well, It's not really for those who are just starting out on the game, but at the same time, it reached out into another franchise because the map theming is about FNAF. FNAF 4, the Bite of 87. A huge, infamous, mysterious event that kind of spiraled the animatronics down this huge path of chaos. I think that's just probably the only way in which I can really picture it as just a huge path of chaos. And will the carrier flag... Oh, no, I had to release that, honestly. Nothing else I could really do there, although we are kind of struggling at this point. What are we going to do here? Not too sure now. Our central champion lacks Pierce. Does the damage, but lacks Pierce. Our carrier flagship is kind of carrying us here a little bit. Round 94. Yeah, this is by no means a challenge in of itself. I just want to do a little bit more of a relaxing experience because I try to do Elite Vortex on 400% on Frozen Over, but I absolutely hate it. Also, I don't think we're going to get a Bears, honestly, so I think we need to focus on a few other things to get us over the finish line. We need something cheap, but also very powerful. That concept doesn't exist. What about another BADS, honestly? I think that could be what we're looking for. But again, we're still lacking that Pierce and also lacking that bad damage. Now 96, good. What are we going to have enough money for? Can we get a shattering shell at some point? I would like to for that infamous round 98. But it doesn't look like that's gonna be the case here. Come on now. Round 96. ZOMGs. Yeah. And also because of our lack of placements now for sentries. Ooh, they're starting to get very far. Getting very far. Carrier flagship is kind of carrying right now. Okay. Shattering Shells is here. This is mainly for round 98. It doesn't work on the DDTs for some odd reason. You have to go up to Blue Incineration, I think, for that to actually start working. It works on BFBs, though. Or maybe I'm just not landing my shots. Okay, that's where they're going to go. Okay, round 98. Can we actually do something with a middle path druid just to stem the tide here? Possibly, I don't know. Now 98. Yeah, we're getting rid of a fortified layer on those. It's just the rest of what's going on here, honestly, that could be a huge bane in the butt here. Sorda can only do so much on her own, and those Moabs are kind of leaking up top there. Oh, okay. That's not good. No, that's not good whatsoever. Oh, I need to use my ability there a bit more of a timely manner. Anything else that we could really rely on at this given point in time? I don't think anything else I could really rely on. Just a cannon ship. I don't know now, actually. Like possibly cannon flagship. It's like cannon ship, but then again, its shrapnel no longer affects the primary target because Ninja Kiwi thought that was a great idea to do a change. Again, changes that were not asked for by the community, but just sort of happened. Dearie me. No. Oh, I don't like this whatsoever. Nah. What I dislike is this particular round. What about an embrittlement? Can that stem the tide by enabling our towers to do extra damage? Okay, we've got an embrittlement. Still target independent. Target. No, go to target independent. Target independent. No. That's not any better. That's not any better. Oh, that is better. Okay, round 99. Let's see what we can do in round 99 here. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it looks like their fortified status is still there, honestly. Okay, round 100. What can we do here? Oh, I don't think we have enough for a glue strike. Oh, we do have enough for a glue strike, actually. That's pretty good. Can we do the damage against this fiend? I hope so. Okay, keep on going. Keep on going. kind of getting there. But at the same time, I don't feel like we are getting there. Okay, that goes that. And yeah, we got this in the bag. I think anyways. Yeah, we got it. Well, that was a bit of a faff for me to figure out. Just like the story of FNAF. That took a bit to figure out in and of itself. So yeah, a bit of a different video today. Going over this custom map on a franchise that I really like. And yeah, hope you enjoyed the video itself. It's not your typical Saturday where I would normally do a boss event, but I think I would honestly rather eat coal than trying to go through an Elite Vortex experience which has 400% speed. And this is a fast boss to begin with here. Yes, it has only 45% health. But that doesn't matter. You could give it 1% health. But its stupid amount of speed is what enables it to be like practically invincible. So yeah, I'm not the best at this game, especially when it comes to boss events. That's why I have to use the mechanic core, well not mechanic, I have to use the paid feature of double cash mode just so that I can actually get through these kind of scenarios. Like normal is tolerable. That's 250%, but 400%. Like, we've had a 500% increase, but that was on Dread Balloon. But Vortex is just naturally fast, so therefore just, yeah. And also its stun as well is ass. Thank you all so much for watching, everybody. Please be sure to check out, was that the bite of 87 custom map for yourselves. There is a, set of information down in the description below where you can see the code, see the title, see you made it. All that fun jazz. This map obviously was made by Maeclown. Yeah, Vortex is a clown. Thank you all so much for watching. Take care of yourselves, everybody. Hope you all have a lovely day.